Excellent. Thank you so much. I think I'm good.
All right.
But yeah, we keep that here. I'll put it to use.
Thank you.
Okay, excellent. We're back with our next section of world-changing startups here. So let's really quickly recap with who our judges are. If you guys just give the quick, just like name, company, and then we'll jump right into it.
Tom Demchak, DXC Technology.
Kevin Landel, Patelco Credit Union.
Simon Figures, SC Ventures.
Cynthia Kueppers, A3 Ventures.
Eric Connors, EllieMae.
Let's give them a round of applause. Oh, so this is not a golf tournament, guys. So round of applause, please. Better, we're working on it. Okay, so I want to make sure we have some energy for our first presenter here. We've got Bob from, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Grata.io. Is that correct, Bob? Come on up. Okay, now for no particular reason, let's give Bob a standing ovation in advance of his presentation, and then let's make him earn it. Come on up, Bob.
Thank you.
Clicker, do anything? Do I do something with something else? Oh, there we go. Okay. So Grata, short for Global Risk and Data Authority. I come from a few miles away. It took me all day to get here. I live in the Cayman Islands. And the value, interestingly enough, of being in the Cayman Islands, as it relates to a lot of our last speakers, half of all the publicly traded Chinese companies in the world are Cayman domiciled. Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu. The Cayman Islands is the 5th largest financial center in the world with over $2 trillion in its banks. And the one thing the Cayman Islands has done that is sort of world leading in the compliance area is understanding the ultimate beneficial owner. This is a new concept in the United States where a year ago or so, the US government required banks here to get the UBO information of 25% shareholders, where in the Cayman Islands we've been doing that for 20 years and of every shareholder. So what we looked at was a challenge that existed in domiciles outside of the United States. Because when you think about it, there's more money outside of the United States than there is inside the United States. And the challenges are the same. We all are subject to the same sort of global governance through an organization called the FATF, but the resources are much different. Many economies and countries around the world still do things in paper and still use people. And as the last panel showed us, there's inherent biases with that. So there were compliance failures all over the world. We see that with how the largest banks have been fined traditionally by the US government for activities outside of the United States. So we look to build technology to solve that using not what is traditional bank technology, but by putting together technology used by national security agencies, law enforcement, to solve a problem that hasn't yet been solved. So we looked at correspondent banking, we looked at retail banking, and we looked at the process of how people are not just only verified and verified in countries that don't even have electronic databases, but constantly monitored and risk scored as they work around the globe. So, you know, the way to solve biases is with technology. You can't be bribed, the website can't be made to change its questions and its answers. And so we built a platform that works in any language, in any jurisdiction, that allows a customer and a company to maintain data privacy rules, which are different in Trinidad versus Indonesia or California versus GDPR, and deliver solutions that give banks and financial institutions tremendous efficiencies. So, our marketplace has been everywhere but the United States. Our biggest markets are places like India and China, which have embraced interesting technologies for making sure compliance can be done. And in fact, one of the nuances we had to do by being in the Cayman Islands, we can get access to US government information that you can't get if you're in the US and a US company. It's crazy, it doesn't make sense, but we built a platform to take advantage of that, and we've delivered it basically around the globe. We're a 5-year-old company. We've got about 24 customers of all different types, whether they're brokerage businesses or banks or regulated stock exchanges. And we do this both in a fiat mode and a tokenized mode. So we can do the same type of solution in any particular currency or digital currency. So, the aspect is connecting to databases. We connect to governments. We are a government-to-government solution where we go directly to the Indian government, the Chinese government, the British government, sadly not the US government. They don't play games. And that allows us to bring together a multitude of solutions that connects the customer in a user-friendly manner, adds efficiency in a technology aspect, and provides reliability and capabilities to financial institutions that they don't have today. So we've sat down with US banks, we've sat down with global banks, we've sat down with regulated stock exchanges, and we think we've got something unique. We work daily with the US Treasury and other regulatory authorities around the world to make sure we stay ahead of the game. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob. Questions?
Yeah, how do you combat synthetic identity in the authentication piece?
Yeah, it's an interesting challenge because there's a certain aspect of liveness. So it's a layered approach in our compliance collection for individuals as well as for entities, where we're validating information not just directly but indirectly. So for example, a financial institution invites a corporation in as a customer. That corporation then invites its shareholders, and that process continues through the validation process. So you're getting entities coming at it from both sides, so it makes it very difficult. Clearly, criminals are always working on new ways, but we think we've been able to demonstrate for various regulators that it's almost impossible when you come at it from a multidimensional standpoint.
A lot of banks and clients today are looking for a holistic solution, not just KYC, but AML, politically exposed people, fraud monitoring. Do you address all those different aspects?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we've done for a number of our customers is Venezuela is a new particular problem, because what traditionally was find a name on a list and not do business with them, it's now find a name not on the list through a defined relationship, and now we can't do business with them. So we build in not only the initial onboarding KYC process, but real-time monitoring of personnel in governments, real-time monitoring of every sanctions list. I mean, one of the problems that you have is somebody at FinCEN says, we're going to put somebody on the OFAC list. They think the rest of the world is checking it within minutes of them doing it. There are bankers down in Trinidad that are going, yeah, I'll get to that next week or next month. We do that in a real-time manner. So when a name goes on a list, it's highlighted within seconds.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, guys.
Round of applause.